What is up, everybody? Oh, did you want me to say more? What is up, everybody?
Welcome to Total Dorks!
Out there. I'm Joey.
I'm Eric.
We are the Total Dorks, and today is going to be a very fun episode because we are going to reveal our top 10 favorite WWE Superstars of all time.
This should be fun.
And I think that everyone out there will be a little bit shocked to hear who we have picked to be our top 10.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, remember, we're not ranking them based on who we think should. These are our favorites.
Yeah, favorites.
Coming in at number 10 for me, Vincent McMahon.
Okay.
Vince McMahon. If you want to go back to character-wise, there's not been a more solid character for like the past, however, good God, it's 20 years now, than Vince McMahon. Idolize everything that man's done.
Number 10 for me is none other than the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. Wow. Okay.
Not because of his most recent WWE run, but because I was a huge fan of his during the Ruthless Aggression era.
Okay.
Huge fan.
See, I'm more of a fan of him now than I was back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For number 9 for me is the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy.
Okay. See, for me, Jeff doesn't make my list this time. Like, he was one of my favorites growing up, and his, more recent things have kind of turned me off of Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking more of his WWE career than his TNA career.
Yeah, fair.
And, his favorite WWE superstars of all time. So.
Yeah. It's just left a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah.
It just has. Coming in number 9 for me, Shucky Ducky Quack Quack, it's Booker T.
Five-time
WCW champion. I didn't even say it 5 times.
You didn't? That's it.
I screwed up. Sorry, people. But no, Booker T's always been solid, no matter when because we're talking strictly WWE here, from coming in with the Invasion, and then the Spinneroonie was like the coolest thing in the world to me as a kid, and I liked him on up even through, King Booker.
King
And
Booker.
him teaming with Gold Dust was one of my favorite things ever. Great tag team. Booker T deserved his Hall of Fame. Fantastic.
Number 8. What's your number 8?
Okay, now I have to tell everyone that it's probably going to even shock you, Eric. Coming in at number 8 for me, Santino Marella. I like comedy. I love comedy wrestling. That's just my style. And no man really has done this better in WWE history to me than Santino. And it's just, that's who Santino is. He's the funny wrestler. And I love him for it.
Coming in for number 8 for me, this might also be a little shocking, is John Cena.
Oh, okay.
Kind of almost for the same reasons. He
Okay.
makes me laugh.
Okay.
His promos are funny to me, and growing up, he was it.
Yeah, true.
He was it.
Thugonomics.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Thugonomics, the rap battles were some of the funniest things in the world. John Cena, number 8. Number 7 for me, Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels. Alright.
Shawn Michaels. The Heartbreak Kid.
You can't.
You can't really say much more. Mr. WrestleMania right there.
Mine is a newcomer. Like, this is like I feel like he's going to grow on this list, but it's Finn Balor.
I didn't pick anybody from the new era.
He's totally, I feel, just who I like watching now. Like, when I'm going to watch WWE programming, I'm going to watch Finn Balor. Like, he is totally just making WWE for me right now. So, he's slowly but surely, I think he's going to be higher up on my list eventually.
Yeah, and I mean, I was considering putting people like Finn, Seth Rollins, and all them on my list.
Yeah.
I
Just for they hadn't earned it yet,
Yeah, I feel like when I'm thinking all time,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to be thinking of who's been my favorite for the past year.
Well, see,
I'm thinking all time.
That's pretty much it. Like, well, I started watching WWE probably about 1998, 1999, somewhere in there.
Around the same time I did.
Yeah, probably like, even I'd say the early 2000, maybe. Somewhere in that era. Can't remember exact date, but so 16 years, I'm thinking about it now, he's slowly but surely, ending that right now. Like, he's carrying on my wrestling lineage, so that's Finn Balor. Coming in number 6 for me is The Undertaker.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh. Coming in number 6 for me is Triple H.
Alright, I mean, that's pretty cool. It's like two people who have really been kind of the icons of WrestleMania for the past few years. Like,
yeah.
When you think of Undertaker, Undertaker is a legacy in WWE.
Yeah.
Especially coming from, because when I started watching wrestling, Undertaker was the American Badass. He was the guy on the bike. So I really didn't watch Undertaker when he was the Dead Man. So I kind of got to watch him, revamp himself into the Dead Man again. So it's been really cool to see Undertaker grow.
Same.
What about Triple H?
Oh, I mean, Triple H, and you just look at Triple H's career, the whole time I've been watching wrestling, he's always been a mainstay.
Mm-hmm.
He's always in the main events. Starting watching, I believe the first ever wrestling show I ever watched when it was on TV was the first ever episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, I mean, growing up, Triple H was always that top guy.
Mm-hmm.
And, at that point, he was just getting out of DX. He was in the corporation at the time, going into Evolution, back into DX, and then now into the Authority. I don't think there's anybody in WWE history who has reinvented themselves time and time again, but been a success in every single role the way he has, and to stay at the top.
Yeah, agreed. Full on agreed.
Number 5 for me is actually The Undertaker.
Okay, cool. Number 5 for me is the Rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I don't think you really have to explain why it's Stone Cold. Yeah,
Stone Cold. I mean, come on, the beer truck.
Yeah,
the beer truck. I mean. And then growing up on the Alliance, Stone Cold made the Alliance storyline. Think about all the iconic moments. It was cool.
Yeah, I mean, Stone Cold is a legend. Little shocking thing though, he's not on my list.
Oh.
Stone Cold just never connected with me.
Okay, do you have something different than what I said for The Undertaker for putting him number 5?
I mean, 21-0 at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Before he got defeated.
I was gonna say he's not 0 no more.
But I mean, just 21 years of being undefeated at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That no one will ever beat that.
No. I mean, I'd be shocked if someone did or even came close to it. Coming in at number 4 for me is the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Coming in number 4 for me is The Rock.
Yeah! Alright. Ric Flair is just me growing up because I was a Carolina kid. I grew up, 30 minutes south of Charlotte. So Ric Flair was wrestling. I heard Ric Flair growing up before I even started watching wrestling. So getting to come in and then having him come back as a part of Evolution and then restart his career in WWE, I kind of got to become a bigger Ric Flair fan. So
for me with The Rock, The Rock's really interesting because, watching wrestling starting with SmackDown, which was The Rock's show. Mm-hmm. They wouldn't have the name SmackDown if it wasn't for The Rock. But, then he left for so long and everything. But he was such an iconic person when I first started watching wrestling.
Yep.
That no matter what he does, he will always be The Rock.
The Rock. Yeah.
And, coming back in 2011 and just bringing that novelty back to what was lacking so hard in that era of WWE. The Rock, he'll always be one of the greatest of all time.
Number 3. Eric, who you got?
Number 3 for me is Edge.
Alright.
Yeah. What's yours?
Ironic, because number 3 for me is Lita.
I mean, both of these could go hand in hand.
They kind of did.
They went more than hand in hand in the ring in 2006.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, just like that. But no, Lita comes in at number 3. I came into the business started watching wrestling because of the Hardys and Lita.
Yeah.
That's who I started watching. And as the Hardys fade away, Lita's the reason I stayed true to watching the women's division.
Yeah.
Because that was what I watched. She was one of my favorite superstars. So that's the reason I stayed in touch with women's wrestling all these years. So truly an icon for me as a kid.
Yeah, and I mean with Edge, he's another one just like Triple H where he has reinvented himself so many times. But, growing up always watching SmackDown, seeing him and Rey Mysterio winning the tag titles as a kid, huge deal for me. In 2007, seeing him win take Money in the Bank from Mr. Kennedy.
Such a moment.
And then going and cashing in on The Undertaker. Mm-hmm. Breathing new life into the SmackDown brand at that time.
Yep.
Edge just shook the foundation of the WWE time and time again.
Agreed.
And that's why he's one of my favorites.
Agreed. My number 2 is The Rock.
Nice!
Yeah.
My number 2, Eddie Guerrero.
Nice.
Eddie Guerrero, he was I cried my eyes out when he passed away.
That was the saddest moment.
Yeah.
As a kid, the Eddie Guerrero Raw tribute was just...
Yeah. For me, I saw the Eddie Guerrero SmackDown tribute.
Oh, yeah.
Which... I remember the moment when my mom came in and said, "Hey Eric, we heard that Eddie Guerrero passed away." I just lost it. I literally lost it.
For me, The Rock, same thing, is kind of what you said. The Rock is professional wrestling.
Yeah.
You literally can't associate him as Dwayne Johnson half the time because he is The Rock. He's like one of the, he's just the icon that he is.
Yeah.
He is childhood. He is wrestling. He's The Rock.
So number one, our
Number
favorite wrestling superstars in WWE of all time.
All right.
What is your number one?
My number one is Edge.
Okay.
Is Edge. That's why I was like, I agree with everything you're saying right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is gonna shake the foundation of some things. Mine is Kurt Angle.
Kurt. It's not a bad thing. Kurt Angle's great.
I love Kurt Angle, even in TNA. Like, if it wasn't for Kurt Angle, I would never have watched TNA.
That's a fairly accurate statement.
Like, 'cause I heard, my brother was like, hey, Kurt Angle's going to this other thing called TNA. Want to watch it? Sure.
Do you know my actual favorite Kurt Angle moment?
What's that?
Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. Jimmy crack corn and I don't care. I've got Olympic gold.
But it's funny though because my number one and your number one had a lot of really funny moments.
Yeah, they really did.
And
But
I kind of want to go on YouTube and look them up now because just to relive.
But no, if you want to go back to just Edge being my favorite, I mean, coming back from TLC matches, which is awesome because I watched it because of the Hardys, but Edge and Christian were the victors and all of that.
Yeah.
So I really wasn't a huge fan of Edge himself until he broke out on SmackDown. And he came out and he's like jamming to Rob Zombie and he's just freaking awesome. Like he was just cool. Edge was always fun to watch. And then you want to come later on in the years, he partners up with Lita, who's also one of my favorites, and then boom, skyrockets to being, the top superstar at the company. The rated R superstar is, in my opinion, probably the best gimmick in professional wrestling history.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Alright, well, that is it, guys, for our top 10 favorite WWE superstars of all time. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up.
Did you like what we said? Not like what we said? Do you like who we like? Let us know. Comment section down here.
Do that too.
Also, Eric, there's a subscribe button.
There it is.
You should click it. Yes, do it now.
Do it.
We're British. Alright guys, also follow us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good jazz. Last but not least, this is Eric.
This is Joey.
We're Total Dorks.
Yeah.
Later. See ya.
Bye.
Zoinks.